Hello and welcome everyone. This is week 5 of CAA Today. Excuse me, this is week 6 of CAA Today. We've just finished week 6 of conference play. I'm messing up my words here. This is week 3 of conference play that we just finished, week 6 overall. So let's get right into things. We've got a couple housekeeping things. We've got some coaches that are taking some breaks. So I know off the top of my head, I know Youngstown State had a sub last week, but they should be back after the problems in Texas. I know Morgan State's going to be taking an extended leave of absence for a little bit. And I know that Duquesne is going to be taking an extended leave of absence for a little bit. And then I think that's all for now. We've got our eye on William and Mary. We know Bobo's been kind of busy with work and a really messed up work schedule. And so just some housekeeping things, and we're going to get right into the games. First off, we had a big one, Delaware State at William and Mary. Once again, William and Mary had been having some personal issues, so Delaware State won pretty soundly. The game didn't even make it to halftime. Final score was Hornets 28, Tribe 17. Matt, want to walk us through that game? How you think that first half played out, and it turned out to be the whole game.
Well, it was pretty straightforward. So I got the ball first, and it was down and scored, and then immediately gave up a two-play touchdown. And then I returned the preceding kickoff for a score, and then got Bobo to get 2 turnovers on 2 straight drives, which were both field goals, and then he got a delay game penalty, and he returned the kickoff off that delay penalty for a touchdown. So it was short, but a lot went on.
Next up, we had Duquesne at Robert Morris, and the new Robert Morris coach, I think, is Howie. He was down 17-7 to Duquesne sub Lancer, but eventually pulled out a nice comeback win to get their first fake college football win in their first fake college football game. Even while running a pistol, Robert Morris was able to pass for 210 yards, although slightly skewed by the 5-2 defense that Lancer plays. The final score was 21-17. Colonials, a great second half showing from the Robert Morris defense, able to hold Duquesne scoreless. Next up, we had Morgan State taking on Youngstown State. Snoop did not finish the game entirely. It was won by guest Dan, who was able to pull up pass all over Morgan State, even with a playbook he was not familiar with. Final score was Penguins 44, Morgan State 14. Dan, I'm glad we have you here. Can you walk us through that game that you subbed for Youngstown State and how you were able to put up such a big score?
So first off, I wanted to say that was my first time ever subbing. So I am a god, obviously, but I don't know. There was an awkward dog the first for the first 24 hours and maybe like the first 30 hours. So I went up 15-7 after that, and my defense was just dominant. Like I think in the first 3 quarters or something, I gave up 1 first down. And then, like, when I started giving up some yardage in the fourth quarter, I'd always force a turnover or something. So, yeah, that was quite a surprise. I was not expecting to do that well.
Fair enough. I mean, it was a great game. You played a great game there. And Morgan State's a weird opponent because usually they're bad, but they have these random games where they will play extremely well. Anyways, moving on, we've got VMI at Richmond. The Keydets stock crashed. You'll get that reference if you remember the show from last week, I guess 2 weeks ago in real time, but last game week. Richmond was able to take off early, scoring 17 in the first quarter and keep up the pressure to eke out a solid 31-28 victory. And then we've got this game and Villanova at Towson. What a game this was. Um, I'm so sad we don't have Edge here to talk about this because holy cow. I'm going to walk you through the game here. It got its own article written about it, and I kind of copied and pasted from the article. So shout out to good old Joshua Average, our friend at the Camel. So we've got Villanova early running the same play for a third time on a pass, and a Towson defensive back intercepted it and took it to the house for a touchdown. And then 5:22 left in the first quarter, so that's where the Tigers gained the lead. And then the Towson's punt return dropped a dropped a punt that led to a Nova field goal. And then another field goal before half. The score was 7-6 Tigers. Towson scored right after the break to make it 14, and then Nova answered with a field goal of their own to bring the lead to 5. Score was 14-9 at this point. Nova then got a turnover on downs and then a 59-yard touchdown run, which gave them the lead 15-14. They missed a 2-point conversion. Towson answers with a 69-yard touchdown pass. Let me tell you how nice that is. The score was 20-15 after a failed 2-point attempt from Towson. Villanova wound up facing 4th and 17 from their own 44 and gained only 5 yards. So that gave Towson the ball, the lead, and only 1 minute and 12 seconds left to play. All they had to do was get a first down. Both teams had all 3 timeouts though, which is crucial because Towson had to run, and that is where Towson fumbled, and Nova ripped a 27-yard pass to get the lead to 21-20, and they missed a 2-point conversion. Towson had a little bit of hope to try and get down the field. The Tigers ran out of time, and Nova escaped with the win, 21-20. I mean, what a game this was! It was like absolutely crazy watching. If you look through that game thread, there are some really crazy moments. Overall, what a game it was from both teams. Towson drops to 1-5 on the season, which is nowhere near I had them predicted. I had them predicted at 10-2 on the season, so I'm very wrong on that. And then finally, we have Delaware at James Madison, our game of the week. This one important because it has set the speed record in fake college football, or the FFCS, I should say. The fastest game ever played in 2 hours and 17 minutes. We'll talk about that more later. But here's the game overall: 291 total yards to 229. Pretty even throughout. I had 69 rushing yards. Again, that's a nice number. I was able to flip the Delaware script, and I owned the Fighting Blue Hens in time of possession, as well as forcing a single turnover and keeping a clean sheet on the other side. Solid win for me, 31-14. Good win. I'm looking ahead to next week. We've got a tough matchup again. And real quick, we got our stat of the week. This is Season 5, Week 6, Delaware at James Madison, which is the game we just played. It was complete after 2 hours and 17 minutes. And then Season 5, Week 4, South Dakota State at Valparaiso, which is the second game. It is complete after 2 hours and 36 minutes. So we've got a 19-minute advantage on them. So yeah, the fastest game ever played. And then real quick, what I got wrong. I missed Delaware State, and I missed Richmond winning. So I was 4 of 2 on the week, which isn't terrible. And I know Dan, I don't know if you remember what you missed last week. Or not Dan, sorry, Matt. I don't know if you remember what you missed.
I think I got 3 right and 3 wrong, like I usually do.
Yeah, that's
Gotta keep that 500 streak
that's
going.
pretty constant with you. Also, real quick, Matt, can you send the CAA Today account that edited like blind resumes pick so that I can post it, because I totally forgot about that. If you could send that to me that real quick, that'd be kind of sick. Anyways, we'll keep moving. We've got the player of the week. We only had an offensive one because defense was pretty lax throughout. No one really stood out. On offense, it was my wide receiver. He's a sophomore, number 81, DeAndre Marquise. He had 33 receptions for 105 yards and 2 touchdowns. Not the biggest reception stat line, but a pretty decent game from him. He scored a big chunk of our touchdowns and big chunk of our pass yards. Moving on, we've got the power rankings. So we got a new number 1 again. We had Youngstown State jump ahead of James Madison. They got 2 first place votes, total points 35. James Madison comes in at second with 1 first place vote, and their points are 33. Third and fourth, we've got Delaware State and Delaware at 30 and 27. Nova, Richmond bringing out the top half at 23 and 20. And then bottom half, we've got VMI, William & Mary, Robert Morris, Towson, Morgan State, Duquesne. All of those are the same, except for the top 7 have changed. So the bottom 5 are unchanged. They're all the same. And then we've got the big one. This is a controversial segment. Contender, pretender. I'll start this off. My contender is North Carolina A&T. After starting 0-2, they've gone on a 4-game win streak. Hey, pretty similar to me. And they backed it with a huge win against Wofford. And my pretender is Valparaiso, as well as Mississippi Valley State.
If I had to pick a contender, I'd say probably Western Illinois right now, since 5-1, consistently finding ways to win. overall solid team, probably going to be top 10 when I put my rankings in. And then contender, pretender, that's a tough one. I would say that it would probably be either, probably Cooper as well. He just has not played well the last couple weeks.
Dan, hit us with your contender and pretender of the week.
So my contender, I think, has to be Plack. All hail Plack. He's never lost a game, and usually that's good. I think. Not sure, but and my pretender. Let me look through some things here. I honestly was not prepared to name a pretender.
I mean, you could go with the masses here and name Cooper as your pretender. You never know.
I'm gonna go Sarah and Matt in North Dakota State
Oh.
because that just because that's what Sarah would have wanted me to say. Just because she doesn't want to be
Even though
ranked.
she's 6-0.
Yeah, even though she's 6-0, she wouldn't want to be considered a contender. I don't think.
Fair enough. Ooh. I'm really struggling with the graphics here, so just keep rolling, you guys. What's next on our list here? Preview. Wait, no, before that, we gotta do blind resumes, because that's actually a thing now. We got a Rice sheet here. Let me adjust this so that people can see the blind resumes. They're really, really badly made. Not by Matt, they're badly made by me, I should state. So I think you can see the last two. So Matt, you want to talk us through these 4 teams and how each one of them has played and what you're looking at for each of them?
Okay, so your team on the far right there, now their defense looks good. In terms of wins, they really haven't really beaten anybody good. They've beaten, I think, 67, which is, I want to say, below average overall. So that immediately hits them. They also have the 88th strength of schedule, which is a yikes as well. Their offense is also a little bit weak, so we'll see how that will affect them in the coming weeks. The team next to them, the one that's 30th in comp, they seem to have some pretty good wins. They've beaten 47 and 48, although one of them's 500, so it's probably just because it's not super far into the season yet. That may balance out eventually, but that's decent. Their strength of schedule looks pretty good as well. Offense, defense, all that stuff looks pretty strong. So they're definitely ahead of the 4th team. So then the team in the center left, the thing that sticks out is the offense and the defense there. So that could be a concern if you're compiling your rankings. However, with their wins, they're not super strong, but they have beaten 2 teams in the 60s, and they've lost to 2 teams in the top 35. So that's interesting. So they're more of a that's more of a preference team. Like, what do you want to see in a team in your rankings? And then the team on the left is on the far left. That is, they're more balanced, I would say, than the team that immediately precedes them. Their strength of schedule, however, is significantly weaker, and they have not beaten anybody in the top 75, which I would need to see some improvement before I rank them. So that's something. And then their defense is also obviously a concern since it's apparently in the top 100 teams.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I know one of these teams, but I'm gonna rank my other 3. So if we're going 1, 2, 3, 4 across the block, I'm gonna rank 2, 3, and 4. I'm gonna go with 3, 2, then 4. I know one team, so obviously it's me. So I'm gonna skip on my team, which is team 1, So I'm going 3, 2, 4 as my rankings there.
Okay. So if I were to rank these, I know who all these teams are. So personally, I'm going to leave the second one out of it because that is me. You know that because number one defense and like almost last defense. I'm going to leave them out of it. But outside of that, I would go 3, 1, 4 in this case.
It's my
And if you
turn.
want to know the other. Yeah, go ahead.
I think I would have to rank Team 4 first because it looks like in their wins, their defense has been pretty dominant. Even in their losses, other than Week 1, it doesn't look that bad. And Week 1 was a loss against a 6-0 team. So they appear to be the best. And honestly, Team 1 looks pretty weak because most of their wins are close. And they haven't really played or beaten anyone above 500. And then the two teams in the middle, they look probably to be the best, the other two best. So I'm gonna rank it Team 4, 2, 3, 1.
All right, Matt, hit him
All
with the
right.
big reveal. Which teams are which? We know two of them because they're us, but what are the other two teams?
So I'm just gonna say them all in case you guys didn't hear it earlier. The team on the far left is James Madison. The team on the center left is me, Delaware State. The team first from the right, the 30th comp, that is Tarleton State from the Southland. And then the team on the far right, that is Houston Baptist from the Southland Conference as well. So I tried to keep it so that we have two teams from two different conferences.
Oh
So
no,
you
I
have
just
James
ranked
Madison.
F-Man number 1. Oh no.
Yes, you did.
Yeah, I didn't even realize that. I didn't pay attention to the unedited one you sent me. But the only thing that I don't trust about Houston Baptist is that offense, because when you're 104th in offense, that is not where you want to be.
If you look at how he plays, he starts chewing from the first play of the game. So that makes sense.
Yeah. He's one of those people. Also, he doesn't have a win against anyone in the like bottom quarter, which is really concerning because he just lost to a team that's 2-4. So we'll see how that ends up. All right, thank you for that. I'm glad we actually have a sheet that we can go off of. And then I'm gonna move this back. Oh, there we go. All right, now we move on to our Week 7 preview. First game up, we've got William and Mary at Delaware. So in this game, I expect Delaware to bounce back after a loss against me. I'm going Delaware wins 28-7.
I think I'm going to go with Delaware as well. Bobo obviously is really busy, and he seems to do a lot better in the second half. And I don't know how much time we're actually going to see of this particular game. So I think definitely Delaware is probably going to win here.
I haven't followed the CAA that closely, I'll admit, but I remember Delaware was a beast last year, and the logo emote was everywhere, so gotta go Delaware.
Fair enough. Next game we've got here, it is Delaware State at VMI. An interesting race in the battle for the South. The Hornets have been playing super well. They sit nice at 4-2, so give me Delaware State winning 49-21.
So VMI is never to be taken lightly. He is a solid coach. DePoop Eater usually surprises a few teams here and there. So it's going to be close. It's probably similar to last year's score, which was 38-28. I'm going to say 38-25. Yeah, I think I can pull it out.
If there's nothing from Dan, I'll keep moving. Next game that we've got here is
Wait.
Morgan State.
I did want to.
Okay,
I
go
thought
for it, man.
I thought Matt was checking something. So I played VMI week 2, I believe. I'm pretty sure I lost 17-14. It was a really close game where my offense just couldn't get anything going. Uh, so VMI has a pretty legit defense, in my opinion. He's going off of that game. That being said, Delaware State 55-38.
Fair enough. I mean, you just praised VMI and then told them they were gonna lose,
I
but
mean, Matt scores a lot of points.
that is true. That is true.
I mean,
right.
yeah, 12-12 has me averaging 50 a game, so I'd say so.
Hey, you can score all the points you want. At the end of the day, you just gotta score more points than the other team. Next game here is Morgan State at Villanova. With Ryland gone for the time being, I trust Nova to get the win. I'm not going to give a score prediction though, because who knows who the new Morgan State will be. I'm just backing Nova no matter who.
Yeah, I'd say Nova's probably going to win too. I have no idea what the score would be because we're probably going to get an FBS double dipper, I would imagine, to fill in for Morgan State. So, yeah, Nova some way, somehow.
So, is Morgan State, is their coach going to be the same one I played this week? Because I know Ryland did not play. I did not play Ryland this week.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know who it's going to be. They are looking for a long-term sub from the FBS, so I assume it's not going to be the same person you played.
Ooh, that's a bit of a wild card. But we do mostly know what we're getting with Edge, so I'm gonna have to go Villanova, 31-20.
Fair enough. Next game we've got here is Towson at Duquesne. It's a quest between the 1 and 5 teams in the CAA North. I think Towson continues to slide against a more experienced coach in Lancer. Give me Duquesne 28-17.
Yeah, I think I'm going to take Duquesne as well. I'm going to say, I don't know, 35-21, since Mr. D is going to put up a fight no matter what.
I am going to go Towson. I think Mr. D is a good coach, and he's got to snap out of this losing streak at some point. So yeah, give me Towson. I know Lancer's a good coach, but I'm just feeling Towson.
Fair enough. I'm sure Mr. D appreciates the support there. It's been a rough go at things. Obviously, he's probably been busy with his kid and all, and so it's kind of an expected slide. Obviously, when I made my preseason rankings, I did not know that man was having a kid, and so if I knew that, I probably would have changed my rankings around a little bit. Anyways, next game we've got Youngstown State at Robert Morris. And I'm gonna back the new coach at Robert Morris. Snoop is gonna be back after a week off, and I'm gonna say there's gonna be a little bit of rust throughout this Youngstown State coach. So give me the Colonials by 2 scores, 31-17.
So this one is a tough one for me. Snoop is a very good coach, both offensively and defensively, while Howie seems to be pretty good as well. So it's really a toss-up in my opinion. So I think Snoop pulls it out. I'm going to say 38-37. Just it's going to be very close, and he'll find a way to win. Snoop will.
I will also be taking Snoop. I know nothing about him, but he was 3-2 when I took over, and his playbook seemed pretty good, considering I was able to win by 30. So I think my 30-point win for him will carry momentum when he returns, or something. I don't know.
Fair enough. And then our last game, our game of the week, it's 2 in a row for James Madison as they take on Zan and Richmond. This is a race for the CAA South as the James Madison gauntlet to begin conference play continues. Started with Towson, then William and Mary's tough defense, then Delaware, who won the conference last season, and now it's Zand. And we're going to see how this one plays out. I'm actually going to predict a loss for me here. I'm going to snap the win streak at 4. As Zan's going to pull out his stats, pull out his scouting. I think he's going to defeat me, but in a close one, right at the death of things, I think he's going to win. Spiders win 35-28, picking against myself here.
Yeah, I think I'll go Zand here too. I beat him by stroke of luck. In week that would have been week 4, I think. But yeah, anyways, he has, if I'm not mistaken, the best defense in the conference. So I think he definitely is going to win here. It'll be close, very close. I want to say something along the lines of 35-31.
I just want to say I will never forgive Matt for killing Zand. No, I'm kidding. But give me the congressional door this week. He's on a roll, and I just don't think he can be stopped by Richmond this week.
I'll take that. That's a great vote of confidence. Thank you for that. Keep it moving on. We've only got 3 listener questions today. First one coming in from Western Illinois. He says, best conference. I'm going Missouri Valley. They've got a number 1 team, and they've got they've got Northern Iowa, who just pulled off a great upset. They're strong. They're so strong throughout. Any team can win on any given day. So give me the Missouri Valley.
I'm going to say it's either the Missouri Valley or the ASUN, definitely. Missouri Valley is strongest top to bottom, but I think that the ASUN is the more experienced conference per se. My understanding is that Missouri Valley has a couple of newcomers this year, whereas the ASUN has a lot of, they may have new coaches, but their new coaches are experienced. So it depends on how you want to interpret it. If you're just looking at just pure, number standpoint, I would probably say MVC, but if you look at it in the long run, I'd say ASUN might be the better one.
I'm gonna also have to go Missouri Valley. No homer bias here, maybe a little. But yeah, there's just so many quality teams. Got obviously North Dakota State, who's probably still a top 3 team. Western Illinois, they've been an amazing newcomer. They're 5-1, top 10 team. I still think Cooper is very good, and he only lost via Chase having brass balls. Then I'm third in the conference, so that actually brings the rankings down a bit probably. But I still think overall it's the best conference.
Fair enough. Next question coming in from What's Up. Why have deep conversations with someone you met on Hinge if you're planning on ghosting them? And I feel like this is a very, very personal question. What's up? If there's anything, if you want to talk to any of us, we're always down to talk. Just hit one of us up. Everything's gonna be alright. But maybe they just wanted to ask some questions. Maybe they just wanted to learn about them. Like learn about life, what the meaning of life is. And maybe you'll provide the answer to them. And then they're gonna stop talking to you because their life's purpose is fulfilled. So that's my take on it. I don't know. I don't know what that entails.
Yeah, some people just ghost, some people just talk to talk. It's just, people just do what they want to do. You can't really, that's really all you can really, or the only way you can really approach this, in my opinion. Just know that people are going to do what they want to do.
No comment.
Dan might have been the one doing the ghosting. Anyways, next question we got from Bo here. Bo asks, best sandwich from anywhere. My friend's dad owns a Little King. He owns a couple of them here in the Omaha area. He makes the best fresh hand sliced sandwiches if you ever want anything. And not to plug Little King here, but if you need a sandwich, go to Little King. Close second is the Popeye chicken sandwich. Had that for the first time in the middle of a soccer tournament. We had a 2-hour break, and so me and a couple of guys popped over to Popeyes over winter break. And holy cow, that thing is absolutely godly. 10 out of 10 would recommend. The service was fine. Like there was a decent bit of a line, but it was like going by super fast. And so Popeyes is second, but got to shout out Little King here first.
All right, so I'm gonna go a little bit in a different direction. So in Richmond, there is a nice little store called or restaurant, I guess, on the mill called the Mill in MacArthur. It's just on MacArthur Avenue, just just kind of in the corner, and they have this delicious sandwich. It's called the Ultimate Grilled Cheese. It's like Texas toast, ribeye, caramelized onions, arugula, just cheese, everything. It's just so good. You're not going to find a better sandwich, in my opinion, anywhere in the state.
Okay, so this might not be like a specific sandwich place, but anytime you can get a good Cuban sandwich, I'd say go for it. Those things are incredible. And also, I'm gonna have to agree on the Popeyes chicken sandwich. In my opinion, it even bests the Chick-fil-A sandwich, though the Chick-fil-A sandwich is also very good.
Yeah, it's definitely like if you were to put it on a graph, the Popeyes chicken sandwich itself tastes so good, but their customer service is like below that of Chick-fil-A, and then the customer service for Chick-fil-A is super high, but the sandwich is just below where Popeyes the chicken sandwich falls. So it just depends. If you want a good atmosphere, head over to Chick-fil-A, but if you want a damn good sandwich, go to Popeyes. And I think that'll be it. If you guys don't have any more remarks, I'm going to end it right there. Quick episode for you today. Thank you guys for tuning in here. If you're watching on YouTube, you know what it is. Like and subscribe. We're trying to hit 100 subscribers on this random fake college football media channel. And then maybe we'll switch to Twitch full time. That would be kind of sick. Imagine playing fake college football over Twitch. Anyways, we'll wrap it up here. Thank you guys for
Hit
tuning
the
in.
bell icon so you never miss a single upload.
Do that if you want. Don't listen to Dan. Dan is crazy. Anyways, thank you guys for tuning in, and I'll end it right there. Peace